Ladies and gentlemen, I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7. And I am a Texan who lives in Houston. So I'm giving you, all my fellow Texans, a big warning for the next 2 days over the state. We're going to be dealing with a mixed precipitation storm, which means freezing, ice, snow, sleet, rain, and then floods, and possibly more river flooding. And so no state is perfect, though Texas is probably the greatest state for sure. We have our flaws. And one of our flaws is we do not drive well in rain. Another thing is we are shitty at driving in ice. So please do not risk your life if there is ice on the roads anywhere. And if you have employees, please give them the opportunity to stay home instead of risking their lives. Now, we're going to be dealing with this event, which will be starting in about 6 to 12 hours, and it will last 60 hours before it leaves the state of Texas. And on top of that, we got a giant coronal hole in the sun, which is our home star, which will be hitting us with a fast solar wind stream around the time, which usually agitates the upper atmosphere. So when the sun acts weird, people act weird, and the earth weather acts weird. Now, my big concern is that the models are not taking into effect this giant plume of moisture that is erupting from the Baja California, Mexico area all the way to the equator electoral electrojet line. And so I think we're going to be seeing a lot more precipitation than the models are telling us. Now here are the guesses for total ice accumulation. And so as you can see, it extends down, and some places have taken the winter weather watch all the way into Dallas and Fort Worth. Now here's a look at the next 48 hours. It's lagging because it hasn't started yet, but as you can see, 48 hours in, and it still hasn't cleared out of Texas. So we're going to get 2 days of mixed precipitation weather. The good news is it is now 11:11, so please make a wish, and you can check in the morning when we'll have a much better grasp on the severity of the situation. But though, if you do not take it seriously, it is very severe and it can be very dangerous. So on the hot, wet side, down here in Houston, we're looking at anywhere from 1.5 inches of rain to the further west, all the way to 4 inches and up out east. We're talking possible flooding in College Station, in Houston, and areas on the east side of 45. And remember, the plume of moisture that I'm talking about, hold on, let me go down. Here, this is where Greg Postel, it's just got that Godzilla El Nino look. Look at this giant plume of moisture that will be drawn up through the jet stream into Texas. This is one of the reasons why I'm putting this warning out, is because that looks like a whole lot more precipitation potential than the models are warning us. So that definitely, here is like 12 inches or more of rain. And so as the water vapor in and outs into rain, I think we're going to see some areas with up to 8 to 10 inches, possibly even over 12. We'll have to continue. Like I said, we'll know more in about 6 hours, and I'm always on the job. And so I'll be here with you throughout this. And so here is our total cloud water, and we had a lot dragging through. And then just one other thing to say. A year ago, almost, in January, we had a 7.6 earthquake in the Caribbean. And from this, the dryness and the heat coming out of the Caribbean, it looks to me like we have a high chance of major volcanic activity in the Caribbean in the near future. And so if that happens, we could see like an 8.0 earthquake that could lead to some type of a tsunami, which would be bad for the people in the islands and all along the coast and the coasts of South America and Mexico. But it is just something to consider, to have a family plan to be out of your house or away from the coast within 15 minutes of any type of an announcement. Now remember, we had a 7.6 earthquake in the Caribbean a year ago, And B, less than a month ago, a volcanic tsunami killed hundreds of people in Indonesia. So I'm not telling you this as a fearmonger. I'm telling you this because it is 2019 and the weather has been wild. And in the last 33 days, we've had we've had 5 earthquakes that were 7 magnitude or higher. That there are some major earth weather changes going on. But you saw the sun. When the sun acts weird, earth weather acts weird, man. That's just the way it is. Texans tell it like it is. And sometimes put a funny joke on it. But I don't know, my sense of humor hasn't bounced back yet, I guess. Whoa, and it's here almost live. We've had a coronal mass ejection, which definitely looks like a solar flare, which looks like could have Earth-facing potential. So this is going to be a Texas warning and a solar storm warning. Look at that. Watch this. Bang. That is definitely a solar flare, coronal mass ejection. So, yeah, interesting times ahead. So the models we're looking at here. So the pink is ice sleet. Ice sleet. Yellow would be the heavier rain. And then this has it reloading. And then out the box in 66 hours. I don't trust that. Like I said, the moisture levels we're looking at on the live radars are showing us a lot more moisture than that. So here in about 24 hours, this would be the picture. And then the heavier rains move all throughout. And then it has everything out in 72 hours. I think we're going to see a pretty serious event over Texas, including snow, ice, rain, flooding rain. Oh, and I would like to say, as a single man who's never been married and has no kids, Texas women are definitely the best. Like, if I had to stereotype Texas women, it would be that they're awesome. And if you had to start a family with somebody, it would be a Texas woman. Texas River flooding map. Should I start thinking about Texas women? I lost my mind. Is this it? Come on. You're making me look bad. Me? I said to myself, Selena Gomez was born in Texas. And I think Texans have a higher chance to be totally faithful. And that's fudge! That's very important in a relationship. So I yelled fudge because we're now at 171 rivers flooding, bro. And if shit hits a fan, if there was one place to be an apocalyptic prepper, Texas is the place I'd want to be. Well, or Colorado. But no, so we have 171 rivers flooding as our government has been shut down for 10 days because they're arguing about building a wall in the place where we're going to have that repeating. What we have, man, if you're new here, this thing, I pegged it as a new atmospheric river that basically passes over us once every 5 days now. It's not stopping. It's going to continue. It's going to get worse. So we're going to see more flooding, more infrastructure damage, and until we prepare and deal with it. And so honestly, the idea of building a wall is just stupid because we have a erupting volcano in Mexico, Popocatépetl, that's erupted like 20 times in 2018. You have Fuego in Guatemala, which erupted like 5 times. You have the major volcano chains erupting here. We're about to have volcano chains erupting here. We need to adapt to these changes and build new infrastructure in safer places, which would probably be East Texas, as opposed to building an 1800 or 1400 Genghis Khan wall. You know, we're all people. I'm a Christian, and pretty much everybody in Mexico is a Christian. You know, we gotta learn to work together. That's been my theory, and definitely Texas and Mexico should have a good relationship. Anyway, I don't believe in politics, especially when a government's shut down. Why talk about it? I'm just saying that the idea of building a wall now, when this thing continues to repeat again and again and again and is going to get worse, is just ridiculous. And we're looking at volcano activity here. A lot of the volcano activity has been down here, so it's going to get crazy. Anyway, so yeah, 171 rivers flooding. I think this storm is going to be much worse due to this vapor plume. And it's going to be a mixed precipitation event. giant coronal hole with a new coronal mass ejection solar flare. It's a lot of information. And I remind you guys, this is what I do for a living all day, every day, is bring you guys the truth as I see it. And I survive and thrive off your contributions and donations. It's pretty much the only way I really get paid and pay my bills, including rent, which is in 2 days. So I've done this for 3 years this way, and you guys have saved me every time, although it usually comes down to the end and I need a miracle. But I need a miracle again now in the form of a contribution or donation to my PayPal link. So if you appreciate my work and all, I've been doing this for 6 years total, and everything I do to protect and give you guys warnings when need be, please make a contribution and donation to the PayPal link in the information box. And if you're broke like me, then prayers help too. Just ask the Lord to watch over me, protect me, and continue to give me the means to give you guys the information that is very important, that can help save lives and bring us all together eventually one day. God bless Texas and everybody else, and I will talk to you guys soon, and I'll give you up-to-the-minute updates on the shit, about every 6 hours. Peace out.